Good morning and happy Thursday. It's already Thursday. It's so exciting. It's a beautiful morning. And Dixie met me at the door this morning. Yep, she's getting used to being fed first thing in the morning. I didn't feed her. Did I feed her? Yes, I did. So yesterday morning, first of all, we got a new employee. Her name's Jen. She's awesome. And she didn't have a desk. So Amy had got a new desk. So Amy said, well, take my old desk. I mean, all these are bought by the office. So it's not like we're giving up our personal stuff. But anyway, Amy was like, well, take this desk and give it to Jen. Cool. Well, Jen's going to be working from home and she doesn't have a desk. She needed to take that desk home so she could work from home. I don't know why this is so dark. Anyway, I said, well, since Jen's taking that desk home and I want a new desk, I'd already talked to the boss about it. And she said, well, you can get the next new desk. And I was like, cool. And anyway, long story short, my stories are never short. But anyway, Tommy called me yesterday morning and said Josh, who's the new owner, is coming by and get the desk. I said, cool, because my new desk is coming Friday, and the only downfall is I'll have to put it together. But that's okay. I've put plenty of furniture together. So, yesterday morning, knowing that he was coming, I had to get up early and make sure I was ready, because with him, you never know if it's going to be 6:30 or 8 o'clock, because he gets up and goes, right? So he called me and he said he was about 10 minutes away, and I was like, cool. Well, I drug the desk. I put the dogs out back, and I drug the desk through the living room and left it on the front porch. And so when he got there, well, while I'm dragging the desk out the door, there's Dixie. She's ready to eat her breakfast, and I'm like, okay, cool. So after I get the desk out there, I go back in and I fix her some food. So here he comes pulling up in the driveway, and he gets out of his truck smiling because there's a chicken in my flower garden eating blueberries. He said, I didn't know you had a chicken. I said, I don't have a chicken. What are you talking about? I don't have a chicken. I said, oh, you mean her? Yeah, well, she lives over here. She lives across the street. And he was like, oh, well, she's pretty. I said, isn't she pretty? Yeah. I said, I mean, I do claim her and I do feed her, but she technically does not belong to me. I mean, I'm just saying. But she likes my food better. And he was like, well, chickens are great to have around the yard because they eat bugs. And I said, I know, that was my thing. And so far, she's not digging up my grass or anything. She goes to my flower beds and digs into my mulch, but I don't care. I mean, I wish she would pull weeds while she was out there. That would be helpful. But anyway, so that's how my morning started. Well, me, 58 years old and 5 foot tall, I'm asking this 6'4", 40-year-old man who is one of them farm strong guys if he needs help with the desk. He said, I think I got it. I said, well, I mean, I can help carry it. It's kind of heavy because it's a motorized desk. It stands. It's got these metal legs and it's got a metal top, but then it's got this big piece of glass over the top, and it's got these little controls on it. It's a cool desk. It really is. But it doesn't have much desktop space, and I need more room to spread out. I like all my piles, So anyway, he just picks it up like it's like me picking up a pack of, a 6-pack of Coke or a 12-pack of Coke or something. That's how he picks that thing up and walks off with it. And I was like, so I guess you don't need my help? Cool, gotcha. Anyway, I still followed him. He gets to the truck and then he's got to rearrange a bunch of stuff, and I'm still standing there like I'm gonna help. I said, I can help you get it in the back of the truck. He said, I got it. I was like, come on, man, let me help do something. So I stood out there with him because that's just who I am. I'm just not going to walk back in the house and leave somebody in my driveway, you know, because I have to talk to people, you know. So anyway, he was talking about Dixie, and he said he had Rhode Island Reds, and she looked like a mix between a Rhode Island Red and something else. And I said, yeah, I looked up that she's a sex link, which means she is a crossbreed of 2 breeds of chickens. And I said Rhode Island Red was one of them. But anyway, then he gets the back of the truck cleared out and goes to pick the desk up. So I put my tiny little hand up to help push the desk onto the back of the chair. I honestly don't, back of the truck, I mean. Honestly don't think I did a thing except get in his way. But I was helpful. His tag's expired. Okay, that's cool. I'll let his stepmom know. Expired tag. Hopefully he has it and just needs to put it on. That's the things you notice when you work in law enforcement. You look at weird stuff. Yeah, you do. You look at weird stuff. Anyway, then I let the dogs out, back in the house. Of course, they're going crazy because they knew somebody was in the driveway and they did not get to smell of them or bark at them or approve of them because the new fence, they couldn't see him. It was wonderful. And hi, I know you're tangled up. Yeah, you're a good girl. Yeah, you're a good girl. She got half shaved last night. Yeah, her got half shaved last night. Her's a good girl. Yes, her is a good girl. Okay, come on, let's go. So anyway, then we go for a walk. And first of all, they smell him on the driveway. They're running all over the place to see where he went because they could smell him. Well, then Dixie's still out there, so they go from hound hunting on the driveway to taking off after her. With Penny, it feels like I have a bull on a string and I'm doing this the whole time I'm walking her because she is so flippin' strong. Then, as if the chicken and Josh is not enough, then the kid across the street comes out to go to the school, bus stop. So then they change their attention to him, start going after him. I'm like, y'all see him every single morning. Every morning y'all see him. Why must we do this all the time? Anyway, so we move on from him and I get them up the street a little bit. And then I don't know what happened to Penny, but I don't know if she got stung on her foot. I don't know if a little piss ant bit her. I don't know if she stepped on a rock or a pine cone thing. You know, I just don't know what she did to hurt her foot. But the little princess, the pea and the princess and the pea, whatever that is, she wouldn't walk. She's soaking wet because the ground was wet. I had to get ready to go to the bank yesterday morning, so I was already dressed to go to the bank. And I had to pick up this wet dog and carry her all the way home because every time I tried to put her down, that foot came up. Mama, my foot. Oh, Mama, my foot. I didn't see a thing. I didn't feel heat. It was not swollen. I came in the house and laid her on the couch and took the little trimmers and trimmed all the hair because their hair grows out from under their paws. And anyway, trimmed all that back so I could see. She still would not. The princess and the pea, that may be the title of this video. She would not put weight on that foot. She kept shaking it, and then she'd start licking it, and then she'd start shaking it. So I did what I have done to Charlie many a times when he's hurt his foot, and I filled the sink with Epsom salt and warm water, and she stood in the sink for about, 10 minutes to soak her foot. All 4 of them, but mostly the hurt one. And then they're smelling of where Dixie was, which, by the way, Dixie has started hanging out between those bushes. She goes under there and takes a dirt bath. Come on. After her little Epsom salt foot soak, she was fine. Hold on. Hi. And just like that, it's magic. Ooh, it's magic. Down, down. I know that's probably not how it goes. But anyway, so back to the never-ending story. So anyway, like I said, I had to go to the bank yesterday morning because there was an issue with my house payment. Now, if you know anything about me, you know that my bills are taken care of first. Once my bills are taken care of, and I know that I have money for food and gas and, you know, necessaries, then I can play a little with some of the rest of it. I mean, I put some in savings, and I do all the things. I'm a very responsible adult. Okay, so I have had, past tense, my mortgage payment set up on auto payment with my bank, that it comes out on the 5th. They cut the check, they mail it to the mortgage company. I've had it this way for, this will be my 7th year owning this house. And I think I did it at the last place too. I don't mail checks. I worked at the sheriff's office, and I see the amount of fraudery and fraud and forgery that goes on, and I don't like to mail checks. And I hear tell that there's some sort of crime ring going around in the U.S. Postal Service where they open your mail and take a picture of your check. And then they have all your information, your routing number, your name, address, phone number, whatever you have on there, your signature. They have all that on the check. They take a picture of it. They put the check back in the envelope, seal it up, and send it on its way. And then they can make a duplicate of your check, basically. And then they start writing checks, and they write them in small amounts, hoping that people won't notice. I check my bank account every day. I look for fraudulent activity every day. I make sure that the charges that are in there are mine. And everybody should. You should. But a lot of people, like my dad, he still goes by the bank statement that comes to the house. He don't want to, he will log in. He's got the app, and he will log in, but he's still a check writer. He doesn't trust a debit card. And to me, a debit card is way safer than a check. But you can't change how people want to do things. So I just pray that he never gets hit with it. But a lot of people are getting hit with it. So, on a side note to that, I called my friend Mitzi. Her daughter's graduating from high school, or did graduate last week. And I said, well, I want to send Kayla the card, but I don't want to put a check or cash in it because of the things going on. Unless I duct tape this envelope, does she have like a Venmo or a PayPal? And she said, no, but I do, and I'll make sure she gets it. And I said, cool. So I Venmo'd her the money for her daughter's graduation. Kayla, if you're watching this, I Venmo'd your mom money for your graduation. Anyway, my check for the mortgage payment goes out on the 5th, and sometimes it takes a week to 10 days for it to come out of my account. It's not always that long, but sometimes it is, right? Well, I kept noticing that payment wasn't coming out. And I was like, well, the mail service has been slow around here, so I'm going to give it a few more days, right? Well, then I get the June bill, and it's got a $40 late charge, and they're saying that I owe 2 months now, right? The money for the first one is still in my account, so it's not like panic has set in, because they haven't taken it out yet, but I needed to get it taken care of. So anyway, I stopped by the bank to make a deposit, so I just went in and asked them about it. And they said to come back and bring them that statement saying I owed $40 or whatever. Well, I got home that day and checked the mail, and I had a letter from my mortgage company. They received my check on the 13th, which is about average. They destroyed the check and sent me a copy of it, stating that the check wasn't filled out correctly. So I take that and the statement. I take all the things to the bank yesterday morning and talk to the branch manager, because she's a friend of mine, and I was like, help, because the check was mailed on time and blah, blah, blah. Well, anyway, I said, I just want to make sure, was this check filled out correctly? Because they destroyed it. And she looked at it. She said, everything is perfect on it. I said, well, I thought so too, but I'm not used to looking at these checks that y'all print out. It listed a list of reasons as to why they would have destroyed it. And one of them was that it wasn't signed. Well, it wasn't signed because it says signature on file, not needed to do whatever with this transaction or whatever. So I don't know why they destroyed my check, but I made the payment over the phone. I'm gonna set it up through the mortgage company to pull it out of my account on the 5th or whatever day, and that it will be taken care of. I've got to stop payment on, I mean, not stop payment, but I've got to stop my automatic withdrawal from my bank. Anyway, it'll be fine. But I had all that on my brain yesterday. Then I had to call the mortgage company, and I spoke to the nicest man. I forgot his name. It was something like Carlos or something, but he answered the phone. Thank you for calling First Option Mortgage. This is Carlos speaking, and who do I have the pleasure of speaking with? And I was like, wow, I'm not used to customer service being this friendly. I was speechless for the first time in my life. So I told him my name, and he was like, well, hello, Miss Tracy, and how are you today? I felt like I was on a radio talk show. I was like, well, I'm doing great, Carlos. How are you? And he was like, I am doing fantastic. What can I help you with today? And I was just like, so I told him the whole story, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I said, I'm concerned about the $40 late fee because the check went out on time and y'all received the check in time, but y'all sent it back to me or a copy of it and said you destroyed the check because of blah, blah, blah. And I said, but I took that to my bank and they said it was filled out properly. And he was like, oh, yes, ma'am. You know what? Just that fast, I have already deleted that late fee for you, and there will never not be a problem with this, and blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, wow, I felt like I was in outer space. So what I thought was going to be a hard issue to take care of turned out to be fairly easy. Yeah. I was like, okay. I was sitting in the parking lot of Tiny Stitches when I called Carlos and took care of it on the phone. And I took a sigh of relief. And I cleared my mind of the Princess and the Pea and the banking issues. And I went on into Tiny Stitches and I bought some fabric and I did my thing. And then I came home and I decided to make another crafting video, part 2. And now is now. Yeah. So I don't know when part 3 will come. It will be, I hope to be sometime this weekend. I've just got to figure it out and make sure I have everything for it, but it will not be today. But I will say, my crafting videos just do not get the same amount of views as other videos, and I don't understand that because, I don't know, everybody seems to enjoy them, but I don't know. Anyway, it's just kind of like one of those things that you work so hard and you're like, But anyway, it's fine. That's just the backside of this thing, this content creator stuff. As Lester says on I'm a Survivor, I'm always watching the analytics. And I do, because you want to see what people like. My most loved video of late has been the one about the cow in the lake. I don't know why, but everybody seemed, I don't know if it got shared a lot more. I haven't paid attention to all that, but it's had the most views. Anyway, I don't know. All right, it's 7:59, so I'm going to work now. Y'all have a great day. And I did not know that I was wearing an orange shirt when I put on pink eyeshadow, so oh well. I'm going to be bright and cheery today. And I forgot the rest of my eyebrows. I mean, I have them. They just need to be filled in. So I'm sort of eyebrowless on the edge. I'm on the edge. But that's from my thyroid. So, you know, when you have thyroid issues, even taking medication, that is never filled in. So, oh well. I will talk to y'all later. Remember that I love you and Jesus loves you, and I hope he's coming back soon. Isn't that cute? I got it from the Shabby Tree. Anyway, and I think I got those from the Shabby Tree. Y'all didn't ask that, but somebody might. Okay, have a great day. I love you. Goodbye.